Well, good evening, YouTube folks everywhere. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. It looks like the audio might be a little bit hot. Let me see if I can turn that down just a touch. And let's see, there we go. That should be a little bit better. All right. It's been a crazy week, but we're getting ready to get this thing into gear. And we're going to have a good time tonight talking about radio and romance and whatever else you want to talk about. I don't care. That was just a subject that was suggested, and we're gonna roll with it because that's what we're here for. So let me switch over to this one. So ordinarily, you see the curtains closed, you see the door closed, and you don't see all the stuff behind me. But tonight, um, you see all the stuff behind me. So I'm not sure how the lighting is going to work because I've not done it this way before. And I think that we're going to have a little challenge with the lighting. But it's too warm in here to close things up. And we don't even have I use a window air conditioning unit for this part of the house because the ductwork is not adequate. And we haven't turned the air conditioning on yet this year. And I assume that it works, but we haven't even checked. So probably, I'm guessing next week we'll be looking for some air conditioning. But so far it's been mild enough that we haven't needed it. All right. So we are coming right up on our start time. And so far, everything appears to be working well. Bobby, be sure to let me know if this thing freezes up again. I think that I know what's causing it, but I don't really have a solution. So I think we're kind of stuck with this thing occasionally freezing up. It's a result of fat fingers. Now I've tried to remove the stop streaming command from the shortcuts that lead to this, but it's still there. Yeah, see, that's no good. Let's go back to that one. All right. And for those of you who are interested, we've got 22 early bird check-ins already. And it's time to go. Let's see, where's my button? Oh, I need the mute switch out here so that I don't cough in your faces. In your faces. All right. Okay.
Atlanta 946. This is Chattanooga 58. WQIJ 536, Atlanta 20.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. Tonight I'll be working off of the Pine Log repeater, but we're also linked in with the following repeaters: Flagship 675, Lookout Mountain, Somerville, Jersey, McDonough, Columbus, Noonan, Zebulon, Moreland, Crawford, and our VoIP link via Zello is operational this evening. Tonight our RF coverage is approximately 31,000 square miles. This net takes place every Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. and I would like to thank, easy for me to see, I would like to thank everyone who has made the North Georgia GMRS the most expansive and active network in the country. On the net, where am I? On the net, you can talk about your day's activities, radio equipment, or anything you think we'd like to hear. I'm having a tough time tonight. This is a family-based network, so we encourage you to get your family involved. Once the floor is open, it is permissible to address other members of the net by their name or tactical unit number. Your FCC call sign is only required when you sign in and sign out of the net. I missed this line, so let me go back and say it out of order. Your net control tonight is Atlanta 946, WQIR 514. My name is Justin, and I'm located at Studio B right here in Woodstock, Georgia. When signing into the net, please speak better than I am, slowly and clearly as you give your call sign, your tactical unit number, your name, and your location. Let me break. Sorry about that, YouTube. At this time, I'll take check-ins. Any VoIP check-ins by way of Zello, please call Net Control now. Chattanooga 58, Bill, I'll get to you in just a moment. Stand by, please. Zello check-ins, VoIP check-ins, please call Net Control now. Okay. Make a nice big hole for the Zello check-ins.
WMRC 853, Awareness 252, Shadows, Emerson. You're checked in, but we're using Zello tonight.
All right, Shad, I've got the Zello checkbox on your login there for 252. So and that works. Good to have you in here. Might turn that radio down just a little bit more so that you don't get confused with that feedback. But other than that, either way will be fine for the net. Any additional Zello check-ins? Net Control standing by. Okay, so I got to make a nice big hole because sometimes that push to talk takes a little while to get, but I think this is a big enough hole. Okay, Chattanooga 58, are you still hanging out there with us, Bill? Did you want to check into the net?
Thank you, Justin. I'm hoping I'm not jumping the gun. Yeah, I know I'm a little bit early, but I'm checking into the net. WREC 529 Chattanooga 58.
All right, Bill. I've got you in the log here. Are you in and out, or are you going to stick around with us tonight?
Oh, I tell you what, check me in and out. I do appreciate that. For check me in and out. Back to Net Control. This is WREC 529.
All right, Bill. Thank you very much for checking in with us this evening. It's great to have you out there, and hope that you'll be able to monitor at least for a little while. Okay, at this time, let's go ahead and move on. We'll go ahead and take check-ins from any guests, visitors, new users. This is anyone who is not a member of North Georgia GMRS but would like to check in, or any first-time check-ins are great to bring in now, and any youth members. So anybody that has a kid that wants to check in, we would love to hear from them at this time. Net Control standing by. Okay, I caught the tail end of that transmission, but when you identified, I missed that. So if you would please come back with your tactical unit number and your name and location, nice and loud so that we can maybe modulate through the noise. All right. Did anybody catch that? Can anybody relay that identification to me?
Justin, he said he checked in earlier and he was going to check out, but he checked back in with us.
Okay. All right, station. You'll want to get to a better location probably so that you're not breaking up when you call in. But if I don't have you in and out already, then you'll be called on when the time comes, and we'll pick it up from there. If not, then be sure and come back to us when we take late check-ins. But for now, I can't make out who you are. If you're already in the log, then you'll be called on unless you checked in and out. Net control at this time is going to go ahead and move on. Of course, guests, youth members, and new users, visitors are still welcome to check in at any point along the way. But in addition to all of those, we'll take Pine Log check-ins. Anyone checking in through Pine Log or any of the previous methods, please call Net Control now.
WRKW 323, Atlanta 102, Mike in Woodstock, checking in, but I'm on a mobile, so I'm going to go ahead and check out for this evening.
Net Control acknowledging Atlanta 102. Mike in Woodstock. I've got you in the log. Got you in and out. It was great talking with you the other night, and looking forward to catching up with you again sometime very soon. Got you in here as in and out, so we'll hope that you can hang out with us, but I won't call on you when we get there. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to any repeater anywhere. Anyone wishing to check into the North Georgia GMRS net, any new users, any youth members, any guests or visitors, please call Net Control now.
Atlanta 710, WRKL 904, checking in and out tonight. A little busy, so I'll be listening, but checking out tonight. Thank you.
All right, Atlanta 710, I've got you in the log, but can you come back with your name and your location, please?
Yeah, I jumped the gun on that one a bit there. Yeah, this is Tim in Canton, and yep, checking in and out. Thank you.
All right, Atlanta 710, Tim in Canton. I've got you in the log as in and out. Appreciate you taking the time to check in with us this evening. It's great knowing that you're going to listen in and hang out with us for the evening. Do we have any additional check-ins? We can go ahead and get this thing started if we don't have anybody else, and there's always going to be the opportunity to check in later. So I'll stand by one more time for any check-ins, and then we'll get started.
Right on 948, WRAR 430. Gary Woodstock, keep me in and out, Jay.
This is Chat 67. That's WRCX 621. Ed in Lookout Valley. Check me in and out. I'm going to be listening for the duration, but I'm going to be busy too, so I don't want you calling in when not possible. Thank you for doing the net tonight.
Atlanta 20, WQIJ 536, Tom and LSU. I'm balancing my time between an HF net and this net, so I'll be in and out listening. Atlanta 20 clear, WQIJ 536.
This is Atlanta 490, WRHY 406, in and out, Bob and Marietta.
Okay, Bob in Marietta. Can you come back with your tactical unit number, please? I know that you called it, but I missed it. If you don't mind, please.
Sure thing, Justin. Atlanta 490.
490. Okay, I've got that in the log. Thank you for that, Bob. And Marietta, and you're sticking out with us tonight, right? You're not in and out.
Get in and out. I'm mobile.
Okay, I'll go ahead and mark you as in and out. Thank you for your check-in tonight. It's great to hear from you. Appreciate you monitoring along with us. And Tom and Ella J, I think I know what your number is, but if you don't mind, come back and shoot me your tactical unit number real quick.
Sir, it's Atlanta 20, Atlanta 20. Copy.
I thought that's what it was, Tom, but I just wanted to be sure I didn't make any assumptions here and be wrong about it. So appreciate that. Okay, I think that we have caught up. Let's see. I got one more thing I got to do here, and yeah. Okay, so this will catch me up. So at this time, Net Control will stand by for any additional check-ins and get caught up here on some notes, and we'll get started.
WRA8 210, Atlanta 442. Craig and Ackworth, check me in and out tonight, please. Josh, good evening.
Okay, Atlanta 442. Craig and Ackworth, I've got you in a log as in and out. Appreciate you checking in with us this evening. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing in gear, and then we can take some additional check-ins later if anybody didn't quite make it. Anybody who is new at this, if you want to just kind of listen along, you're more than welcome to do exactly that. And if you feel like checking in later in the program, we would love to hear from you. If you just want to kind of listen in and see how things play and learn how to do this, that's okay too. We've got a lot of new folks out there, and so one thing that I would offer to those who are new and not quite sure how to make this thing happen, probably the single biggest, most important thing is that you can never make a mistake if you never hit the push to talk. So, but there's no fun in that. All the fun comes from engaging in a conversation over the air. And one thing that you'll find in this group that may not be true necessarily in most other radio groups is that we all make mistakes. Every one of us. I do all the time. I say the wrong thing. I push the push to talk button too fast. I run into my timeout timer. If you want to talk about somebody who makes mistakes, the guy that does that the most is the one that's yammering on your radio right now. So whatever mistake that you might make, I probably have already made it and then some. So have no fear. We're not gonna worry too much about it. We just want to have another friend to talk to on the radio. So we welcome everyone to come on here and participate. Right off the bat, I want to get into a couple of announcements here. I think first and foremost, I want to talk about the there's a tailgate event happening over in Stone Mountain with the Stone Mountain Radio Club, and Flip will be along at some point. We'll have him come on and give us some more details about that. But just know that that's happening on Saturday. When it's Flip's turn to talk, we'll ask him all kinds of questions about times and locations and that sort of stuff. And I'm not sure if we have anything posted on our Facebook page, but I'll ask Flip to do that as well. And another announcement, another thing that I would like to talk about is on May 15, we have a gathering for North Georgia GMRS members and family. And we're planning on gathering at a place called Wallace Barbecue in Austell. Houston Davidson, Atlanta 780, is our host for that event. And if Houston is available, we'll find out tonight. I'll find out at the same time that the rest of you do what time we're going to join Houston at Wallace Barbecue in Austell. Houston, are you available? Live stream and oh my golly, that was kind of silly. Okay, so Houston, what time are we going to gather on Saturday, May 15th at Wallace Barbecue?
Well, to be honest, Justin, I haven't looked at the Facebook page to see if see who all wanted what times. Let me do that, and I'll get back with you.
All right, so we'll go through the list. We'll give Houston a minute to take a look and decide what he's going to call it, if he's going to leave it like it was, or if he's going to name a new time. Houston's our host. It's Houston's call, and we'll let him figure that out, and then we'll all know. So we'll give him a minute for that. So first on my list, I have Noonan 80, Michael in Hapeville. I think Michael meant to be in and out, but I didn't check the box, so I'm going to call on him and see if he's monitoring and if he's able to get back into the Pine Log repeater as cleanly as he did from Hapeville. So, holy cow, what a trip that is to make the Pine Log repeater all the way from Hapeville, and to do it, cleanly. He had a great signal when he came in. Let's see if he still does. Noonan 80, are you still there? All right. Not hearing anything from Noonan 80. I'm going to go ahead and show him as in and out. Thank you, Michael, for checking in with us, and look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Next on my list is Atlanta 403, Bobby in White County on Zello. Bobby, were you in and out, or were you going to try to hang out with us? And if so, can you tell me about any romantic experiences you had while working radio, or is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Well, that control, I was originally in and out because it's tough to do Zello and watch the YouTube and monitor the YouTube at the same time. I only got one laptop here. But no, I haven't made any romantic connections on North Georgia GMRS yet. Still waiting. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's all I can say. But yeah, I'm monitoring YouTube, so I was originally in and out on Zello. I'll be clear.
All right, Bobby, I'll go ahead and check you out now so that you don't have to later. Come back one more time with your call sign so we can make it legit, and then we'll go from there. And yeah, I suppose I'm not sure if the radio is a problem. I think probably has more to do with your flip phone. That's probably the issue in the romance department. I don't know, but I could be onto something. So come on back with your call sign and go ahead and clear up, Bobby.
WRAT-241 Atlanta 403 will be clear, and I don't have Zello on my flip phone. I do everything on my laptop.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the flip phone. So, juggling the YouTube live stream along with Zello on the laptop, I can see where that could be a bit of a handful. But I'll let you off the hook for now, Bobby, and you go ahead and close out the Zello app, and let me know if I hit that wrong button again and we freeze up the live stream. I think I know which one it is, but like I say, I was in the settings trying to defeat that, take that option out, and it looks like maybe I can't. So I can hit everything on the keypad except for the period button, and if I fat finger that while I'm switching screens, then that seems to be what's causing the disconnect in the live stream. Next on my list is Chattanooga 84, Jim in Chattanooga. Jim is in and out with us this evening, so I'd like to just say thanks, Jim, for taking the time to check in. Hope that you're monitoring, and hope all is well with you. Also on my list, I have Atlanta 285, CV Smith in Murrayville. CV is also in and out with us this evening. Thank you for checking in with us tonight, CV, and also hope things are good for you up there. Looking forward to talking with you again soon. This brings me next to McDonough 22, Tim in Stockbridge. Tim, I had a lot of fun making the what do you call it? The mug shot with the little frame and the numbers. Had a lot of fun putting that together. But I don't know. That could be a neat little thing to. Somebody should make a little meme generator with that, or I wouldn't know how to go about doing it, but that could be a lot of fun. Tim, do you have any stories you'd like to share?
Yeah, thanks. Good evening, Justin. No real stories, as far as making connections with people, out and about in the world with, romantic or otherwise regarding radio. So that's a negative. As far as there are meme generators online that you can use. I'm sure you know about those. But anyway, I thought that was a cute thing that you did, and hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, just something wrong with you there, Roger.
Oh yeah. Well, when I searched mugshot meme generator, it took me to all kind of pages where it wanted me to spend money so I could look up mugshots for anyone, anywhere. And that wasn't what I wanted to do. I certainly didn't want to spend any money. And I didn't really want to look up mugshots for anyone, anywhere. So I kind of gave up on the internet search. It looks like there are so many of those sites that are paying to have their page listed in a search that it makes searching for anything that you're actually looking for useless. But I thought, well, shoot, I'll just grab a picture, and I started off with that one that Bobby had commented on, and but there was no room below to put that little placard, so I found one that showed a little bit more of the room there, and that seemed to work out pretty well. So good stuff. I thought that was pretty funny, and glad that you did as well. Next on my list, I have Atlanta 253, Donald in Blairsville. Donald, I believe, is also on Zello tonight. Donald, do you have any stories you'd like to share? Springtime radio romances? What do you got there, Donald? Donald is on Zello, so it's, again, we have to offer enough time for that push to talk to come clear.
That's the press drop, Atlanta 20.
Yeah, we were waiting for Donald to come back, but sometimes Zello can be finicky. We're going to go ahead and show Donald as in and out on the log this evening, and Donald, if you want to try to get in here later, you're welcome to do that. Next on my list is Atlanta 460, Ruben in Conyers. Ruben, do you have any stories you'd like to share with the group this evening? Okay, Ruben must have been in and out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and show Ruben as in and out. Not sure that he was or wasn't, but we're going to go ahead and show him that way. And Ruben, if you want to chime in here after a bit, you're more than welcome to do that. Next on my list is Atlanta 699, Mike in Sugar Hill. Mike, I think this is your first time checking in with us. Is that correct?
Yes, all the copy. That is correct. This is my first time on the net with you guys, and happy to be here. Over.
Well, fantastic. We're glad to have you along. How did you find out about North Georgia GMRS?
I think it was GMRS.com. I was trying to figure out who had the repeater network around here because we do a lot of camping and overlanding, and trying to come up with a clever solution to be able to talk back to the house while up in the mountains and having no cell signal. Over.
Well, fantastic, and this should be an excellent fit for you for that task, and I think that it'll serve you very well. Glad to have you in the group, and glad that you were able to get your radio worked out and performing. So I'm excited to see too whether it works for you over the weekend, and you're able to check back in at home while you're out at the site. So that'll be good stuff. We'll be monitoring most of the day. I may not be able to come on and talk with you, but I will be monitoring most of the day on Saturday. So hopefully we'll hear a little bit of traffic as you make that test. Bear in mind, we'll be doing some maintenance work on the Sassafras site on Saturday, and so the location may be on and off at times as we do that work. So just be aware. Once we complete that work, if I have adequate cell signal, I can make a post, but I'm not sure anybody will see it until I get away from the location. So just know that if Sassafras stops working on Saturday, you don't need to panic. You don't need to tell us because we're right there working on it. So, Mike, do you have any stories you'd like to share with the group? I can't speak tonight. To share with the group with regards to radio and romance. Do you have any stories that fit along those lines?
No, you know, I've been with my beautiful bride since '96, married in '99. I think if I had a radio romance story, I would be in a heap of trouble. Over.
Well, that's fantastic. You know, I used to be a truck driver, and my wife and I met at the trucking company that I used to drive for. So there's all kinds of potential for radio romance stories there. But the reality is, you know, whenever I was spending time with her, we weren't messing with the radio. We were engaged in other activities, usually something to do with the kids, taking them to events, activities, movies, sporting events. You know, just stuff with the kids. So you know, when there's kids involved, they're kind of the focus of everything that you do, and so at that time in our lives, that was true for us as well. We didn't. We didn't have. In fact, we didn't know anything about GMRS. I knew about the CB radio, and that's not anything that I would have even considered bringing home. You know, that was something that was in the truck, and it stayed in the truck, and the truck didn't. Whenever I had a chance to get away from that thing, I got away from it. So good stuff. Glad to have you in here, Mike. Looking forward to hearing some more from that. Now, is Beth going to come on the air tonight? You know, she's welcome to check in as a guest, even without a tactical unit number. She would just come on with a call sign.
You know what? Yeah, stand by. I can go grab her. I'm actually testing the truck. I'm sitting out in the driveway with the engine running. So yeah, let me run inside and grab her right quick, and I will have her check in. Over.
Well, fantastic. Yes, we'll do that. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and move on to a couple more check-ins here, and I'll come back in just a minute to see if you're available with Beth. So go ahead and get her, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and give Mike a break to go do that and move on to Atlanta 344. Damon in Murrayville. Damon is in and out with us this evening, but thank you, Damon, for taking the time to check in with us. I appreciate that. And that brings me next to Atlanta 517, Mr. Romance himself, Bob in Dallas. Bob, do you have any stories you'd like to share? All right, I think Bob is shy this evening. Either that or he is in and out. So I'm going to go ahead and show him in the log as in and out. And we'll take that next then to Atlanta, 252, Shad in Emerson. Shad, do you have any stories you'd like to share with us this evening?
I really don't have much of a radio romance except for the fact that my fiance and I both got involved in radios lately, so I guess that's kind of sort of romantic.
Well, I'd say that counts. And, even though 947 and I have been together for a couple of decades now, we both kind of got involved in radio at the same time, GMRS radio, and then we expanded on that and became amateurs and continued to advance to general. And she's taking a little break at this point in time, but she'll be back to it, I'm sure, at some point along the way. So, yeah, I think that counts. Shad, you and Cynthia have kind of come to the radio hobby at the same time, and I hope that you're able to take a lot of pleasure from that. With that, Atlanta 312, Cynthia, do you have any stories you'd like to share with regards to radio and romance? And by the way, welcome. Appreciate this being your first time check-in.
Well, nothing really to add other than what Chad said. He just got me into it, and I've been enjoying it. There's a couple older guys, I'm assuming, that I'm loving to hear them talk, and just chilling out.
Well, fantastic. And yeah, I think that that you'll find it a useful tool. 947 and I use it throughout the day sometimes to check in with each other while we're running errands or while we're engaged in, oftentimes it's the trip home from work. Do you need me to stop and get anything? Do you that sort of stuff. So it's a handy tool. Sometimes it's better than the cell phone. Sometimes it's not. So, but we very much enjoy getting on the radio and having conversations. And very often we end up talking about, I think probably the most common topic that 947 and I have on the air is what's for dinner. And of course that leads to multiple suggestions from the likes of 261 and others who will chime in about our dinner plans. And that's always a lot of fun to hear the comments and the interest and the folks that want to invite themselves over to participate in whatever it is we're having that particular evening. So always good stuff, always a lot of fun, and always very enjoyable. So appreciate that, Cynthia. Thank you again for checking in with North Georgia GMRS. Looking forward to hearing more from you as the weeks come. And also, Shad, thanks for bringing Cynthia along on this adventure. I think that you're both going to have a lot of fun, and I think we will too. Next on my list, I have Atlanta 26 from Flip from the beautiful Druid Hills. Flip, are you finished with dinner, or do I need to come back to you after bed?
I am here, all finished. It was good. Yeah, I've heard those messages. Honey, do we need milk? I think Julie may be the exception because I don't think too many women think radio is all that sexy. But I was thinking about this, and I was thinking that, my wife Ashley would probably enjoy some of the social outlets if and when things start opening up more. Possibly, like I was thinking, the fox hunt idea would be kind of fun to do that with some friends. So we look forward to that kind of thing together. But no, not a lot of radio romance here. Atlanta 26.
Well, I think that's probably more the rule than the exception. Is that the spouses don't enjoy the radio as much as we do. One of the things that I really like about GMRS radio, and I think this is something that Mike and Beth are experiencing now, is that one license covers the whole family. So you can have a family member engage in a radio activity that's maybe not as technically inclined or is savvy when it comes to the lingo and that sort of thing. So here with the GMRS network, the lingo is not really even. I mean, GMRS is specifically meant to be a non-coded, plain language family communications network. So we don't need the over Roger. We don't need the specific lingo. All we have to do is satisfy the FCC requirement of issuing a call sign at some point during the transmission. So how we speak once we've satisfied the FCC is entirely open and up to us. So casual, informal conversation is what we expect. So let me go ahead and move back to Atlanta 699, Mike in Sugar Hill, and see if Beth is available to check in as a guest tonight.
This is Atlanta 699. I have somebody here who wants to say hello.
Hi, this is Beth.
Well, hello, Beth. And our topic this evening is radio romance. And so, being brand new to radio, are you enjoying the connection that it brings?
I really like it. I'm excited about this new addition to our car and to our house. And on the topic of romance this evening, I have to say, the challenge accepted. It's going to have to be written into a romance novel now. And radio needs to become a romantic thing.
Well, I don't know of any romance novelists that could write that story, but if you're up to the challenge, I would love to. I'd love to see that published. So fantastic. One little suggestion, Beth, is that you might get a little bit closer to the microphone, or speak a little bit louder into the radio to make it modulate a little better, and that'll help when you guys are testing on Saturday. Other than that, you sound perfect. You sound fantastic. Your radio is excellent. It's coming in very, very cleanly. Nice carrier. So good stuff. You guys are off to a great start over there, and I'm looking forward to hearing many conversations as the days go by. So great stuff. Thank you, Beth, for taking the time to come hang out with us, and we'll go ahead and move on with things. Next on my list is Atlanta 172, Greg in Bremen. Greg didn't tell me that he's in and out, but he usually is. But I'm going to go ahead and see if Greg is there with us tonight. Greg, do you have any comments for the net? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mark Greg as in and out this evening. And thank you, Greg, for checking in with us. It's always great to hear from you, and hope those puppies are doing well and that you're able to find them some homes. Atlanta 261, Scott in Holly Springs. Scott, thank you for checking in with us this evening. I've got you in log as in and out. I appreciate that. And next on my list is Atlanta 168, Bob in Cumming. Bob is also in and out with us this evening. Thank you, Bob, for checking in with us. And that brings me, where's my list at? Where am I? Oh, there I am. That brings me next to Atlanta 780, Houston in Austell. I wonder if we'll find out what time the North Georgia GMRS gathering at Wallace Barbecue in Austell is going to be on May 15. Houston, have you figured that out yet?
Well, Justin, I'm looking at it online now. It looks like 4 have suggested 2 p.m. and 2 for 6, and that's all that's on there. So I guess the 2 p.m. is winning out.
Okay, so 2 p.m. is going to be our gathering time at Wallace Barbecue in Austell. So anybody that was planning on 6 p.m., go ahead and change that time to 2, and we'll go from there. And I guess that's the plan then. So thank you, Houston, for that. Now let's move on to any stories that you might have involving radio and the beautiful Mona romance. What do you got to share with us, Houston?
Well, there's not much I can share on that. I've been married longer than I've been in radio, and I got married in '68. I got in radio in '68, so can't say too much about romance on it. Used to make her mad when I'd have to call her in Savannah and have her relay messages from the police department to their police department because they couldn't reach their people. But that's the only romantic thing we had going.
Relaying messages. Well, that's the core of radio in a nutshell anyway. So I suppose if that didn't spark the romance, it certainly must have deepened it. So good stuff. Well, tell Mona hello from us this evening, and it's great to hear from you. And 2 p.m. is our time for gathering at Wallace Barbecue in Austell. So, whoops, that's not right. Oh my golly, I'm fat fingering everything everywhere. Never mind. Flip, can you help me out with that? Just put 2 p.m. in those notes. That brings me next to Atlanta 138, Robert in Auburn. I have Robert as in and out with us this evening. Thank you, Robert, for checking in. It's great to hear from you. And I also have Atlanta 459, Richard in Sheffield. I believe Richard is hunting this evening, so I'm hoping he's got an earpiece in. And I'm not going to call on Richard because I don't want him to have to give away his location. But thank you, Richard, for monitoring and hanging out with us tonight. I believe this is Richard's first check-in. I don't know if he's checked in prior to this or not, but thank you for participating in tonight's net. That brings me next to Atlanta 104, David in Rockmart. David, do you have any stories you'd like to share with the group tonight?
This is Atlanta 104. Good evening, Justin, and everyone else on the net. Well, more like everyone else, nothing on the romance side, but just digging deeper into the radios now that starting to get it nailed down somewhat. Finding more hobbies to get involved with and how far you can go and experiment with antennas. I guess that's my new romance going on right now. The wife's got the garden and I got the radios, and we keep it simple.
Well, that's fantastic. And, the thing about radio is there's just no end. You've been experimenting with antennas and building antennas. That is a cool thing to do. It's something I've always kind of wanted to get my hands on. The trouble is I'm so close to Pine Log, and it's so easy for me to hit sassafras that with the antennas that I have, I don't think I'm going to build anything that's going to improve on that. So it's hard for me to find the justification or the motivation to do those kind of things. But it is a cool thing to experiment with. Now, one place I can experiment with an antenna is in amateur radio. I do not have very good performance out of my HF antenna, and there's a number of things I could do that would hopefully improve that. But it seems like I spend most of my time on radio right here on GMRS. So, but to go on with what you were talking about with regards to things that you can do in radio, radio can apply to so many other hobbies and activities. And one that was talked about on Facebook here was an Ironman competition that's coming up. One of our new Facebook members is considering using the radio to monitor communications for the Ironman competition. Well, one thing that many of you may or may not know is that many of those events and many other events, community events that are happening, parades and festivals and things throughout a community, involve amateur radio in providing additional communications support for those events. So it may be as simple as somebody having an HT, talking to through a repeater to a command center to identify locations that need service, that they need more bottled water here, or the trash barrels are getting full over there. Those kind of communications are often handled by amateur radio enthusiasts that are volunteering at those events. And that's just one more way that you can get involved in radio and in other hobbies. So bicycle races and half marathons and 10Ks and marathons and all of those events need additional support and additional communications, and amateur radio is often how that gets handled. So, and I think Mike and Beth were talking about using radio, or they have used radio in their overland adventures. And I think they'll find that GMRS works excellent there too, both in simplex mode and over a repeater. So they'll be able to use their radios extensively in the overland mode, and I'm excited to see what kind of success they have in that. So that'll be cool. And like I say, there's just no end to how you can apply radio to other hobbies and interests. So good stuff. Good stuff, Robert. I appreciate that. I'm sorry, no, that's not Robert. I am talking to David in Rockmart. I lost my place in the log. Next on my list is Atlanta 291, Nick in Ackworth. Nick is in and out with us this evening, but I want to say thanks, Nick, for checking in. It's always great to hear from you. And, boy, it looks like I've got a whole string of in and outs here, so let me go ahead and get through them. I have Chattanooga 58. Bill in Chattanooga is also in and out with us this evening. Thank you, Bill, for that check-in. I have Atlanta 102, Mike, right here in Woodstock, checking in and out with us this evening. Thanks for hanging out with us, Mike. I have Atlanta 710, Tim in Canton. Tim, I think this might have been his first check-in, but he's in and out with us this evening, so I'm going to say thanks, Tim, for that. Also have Atlanta 948, Gary in Woodstock. Gary is in and out with us this evening. Thanks, Gary, for your check-in. I have Chattanooga 67, Ed in Chattanooga, also in and out, so thank you, Ed, for that check-in. And if you do find that you're available, Ed, here in just a few minutes, you can jump back in. Don't hesitate if that's the case. Also have Atlanta 20, Tom in LJ. Tom, do you have any stories you'd like to share with the group, or did I miss your in and out? Okay, I think Tom may have been in and out with us this evening, so I'm going to go ahead and mark him that way. And that's going to bring me next to Atlanta 490, Bob in Marietta. Bob was in and out with us as well. And so was Atlanta 442, Craig in Ackworth. I think the issue is that nobody wants to talk about their romances on the radio. Perhaps it's because their spouse is listening, and nobody wants to get into that kind of trouble. I don't blame them. So with that in mind, I think we'll just go ahead and open up the floor. And oh wait, let me go ahead and acknowledge Atlanta 699 Beth checked in with us this evening as a guest. Thank you for that, Beth. It was great talking with you, and I've got you here in the log in the number 31 spot. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor and invite anyone to ask any questions or make any comments, and any late check-ins. Net control standing by.
This is DJ 857 checking in.
With a quick story between my HF net and this net.
Okay, Atlanta 20. I'm going to go ahead and I heard an EJ857 in there. So I think that was part of a call sign as a guest check-in. Let me go ahead and get the rest of that information, and then Tom, I'm going to come right back to you. So give me one quick minute here. EJ857 is what I heard. Can you give me the rest of your information? I need your call sign, your tactical unit number if you have one. It's okay if you don't. Your first name and your location, please.
Yes, good evening. Whiskey Romeo Echo Juliet 857. I'm a new member. I just signed up today, and my name is Ray. And that's Romeo Alpha Yankee.
Outstanding, Ray. Well, it's great to hear from you. Stand by one moment. I'm going to come back to you here in just a minute. We're going to ask you a whole bunch of questions, but I want to catch Tom before he has to break away again and get over to his other net. Atlanta 2-0, Tom and LJ. Go ahead with your story.
Very much, Justin. Doing a great job on the net. I'm listening with one earphone in the right ear for GMRS, and I'm on HF 80 meters on the other net. And just a quick story, my ex-YL, she met me as a 20-word a minute extra for amateur radio back in 1986. And when she was pregnant with my first son 30 years ago to the month, the Colas Tech opened up, and she had to stay home with the pregnancy. It was a little complicated, so I highlighted a bunch of correct answers for her, and she studied for her tech, and she now has a call sign that is, I'm a 1x2, she's a 1x3, and we're one letter different because she got her vanity call. So that is the radio romance. Of course, she knows all about GMRS, and I do a lot of listening in the mobile, not so much transmitting, but I like to listen to the conversations while I'm traveling up 515 and 575. So that's the radio romance, and I'll go back to the other net. Thank you for letting me in there. And by the way, you guys do a great job on Facebook, and that's where I get all my information from the membership. So thanks for all you guys and what you do. WQIJ 536 Atlanta 20. I'll be clear, and as they say on the other band, Justin QRT.
Fantastic. Great story, Tom. And yes, 947 has a amateur call sign that is one character different from mine. But we don't have vanity calls. We're still using our technician calls, and mostly because they're kind of cool, just being one character away from each other. She's a Hotel Yankee Mike, and I'm a Hotel Yankee November. So very cool stuff. All right, let's go back to our new friend at WREJ 857, Ray. Ray, can you tell me what part of Georgia you're calling us from?
Okay, at the moment, I'm in Canton by Riverstone Parkway. I'm staying in an apartment because I'm having a house built in North Canton that won't be built until maybe July or August.
Canton, Georgia. Fantastic. So how did you find out about North Georgia GMRS, Ray?
Well, I was on GMRS on Long Island. That's where I'm from. And when I came down to Georgia, I was staying in Alpharetta, and I was scanning the frequencies, and I heard people talking, and I hooked up my notebook, and I was trying all the tones so that I could talk back and forth and listen through the repeater. And a gentleman got back to me. I don't recall who he was, but he told me all about it. He told me about the website. And when I finally got my computer out of storage, which was today, I signed up.
Well, fantastic. Well, Ray, I'm glad that you were able to find the tones and get in with us. And had you only known that all that information was just laying there waiting for you to grab it and program it into your radio, it could have been a heck of a lot easier. But I'm glad you finally got it sorted out. And welcome to North Georgia GMRS, and it's great to have you here. You're not the only New Yorker on the net here. We have Atlanta 911 is from upstate New York, and we have others that are from that New Jersey, New York region. So you've got some contacts that you can make, with relationship to that. So I'm guessing that you've just applied today, so you do not have a tactical unit number yet. But I'm curious if you'll end up with a 900 series tactical unit number. Some of you know what that is in reference to. It doesn't matter what number you get, but I often joke about the fact that the 900 series of tactical unit numbers are reserved for Yankees, riffraff, and scallywags. So a 911 can help to enlighten you on that if you have any questions about that. So appreciate that, Ray. Do you have any stories you'd like to share with regards to radio?
Not really. I mean, I'm still trying to get myself settled in because I finally got down here. I think it was April 7th. It took me 15 hours to drive down because I was towing a trailer. And right now, I'm having fun getting myself lost, turning on the GPS, and finding my way back to the apartment where I'm staying.
Oh yes, yes. You know the where I'm from, the roads are kind of laid out in a sort of a grid. So if you make 3 left-hand turns, you're going to be back on a road that you started off. You know, it's very consistent, and it's very easy to navigate because very seldom do you run into a road that doesn't come back out in something that's very recognizable and very easy to navigate. Here, if you make 3 left-hand turns, there's no telling where you're going to end up. So that's one thing that 947 and I learned real early was, and we just became dependent on the GPS. And we've gotten to the place where we know our way around Woodstock pretty well, but we're going to GPS virtually everything that we do beyond Woodstock. So you know, I work in Midtown, and I know the way quite well. I've been here for 11 years now, so you would think that I would be pretty savvy after 11 years in how to navigate, but I'm not. But I use the GPS even when I'm going to Midtown, because sometimes it'll tell me if something's, you know, messed up between here and there, and then I can choose whether or not I'm going to wade into the melee or if I'm going to try to get off and get around or just get off and park. So even for short trips, I very often will use the GPS just because it's nice to see, you know, the minutes to the destination and that sort of thing. So welcome, Ray. Glad to have you in here, and we look forward to hearing more from you as we go. I've got 100 more questions for you, but we'll save them for another net. Next, well, I guess that's it. So Ray is holding our tail gunner spot at the moment. So let me go ahead and break again, see if we have any additional check-ins or any questions or comments. The floor is open. Net control is standing by.
This is 699. I got to clear here in a second, but I wanted to bring up one thing before I left. Over.
Okay, I heard 2 stations in there. I heard somebody trying to check in, and I heard Atlanta 699 says he needs to clear, but he has one thing that he wants to interject. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to 699. Mike in, where is Mike at? He's in Sugar Hill. And Mike, what have you got for us?
Correction real quick. I had said earlier that I found you guys on my GMRS. Actually, I did not. When I was listening to Ray talk, it reminded me, I actually picked you up on traffic when I was and tried to figure out what all of this. People were using ATL and 3 numbers, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And then I hunted you down on Google, so that's one correction there. Ray.
Sorry about that. I hit the I went to hit the mute button so that I could cough, and I accidentally hit the key instead. So, you know, I was saying earlier that people are going to make mistakes on the air, and I'm probably the one that makes the most. but I copy your traffic, Ray. I understand the correction that you had heard GMRS traffic on your radio, and that prompted you to start looking around to see if you could identify what the group was that you were listening to. And you know, my GMRS would have been a great clue as to who we are if you were in that situation, you know, hearing all that traffic and not knowing where it's coming from or what the tactical unit numbers are. But appreciate that correction. And Mike, go ahead and give your call sign and sign off, and we'll let you out of here.
WRME 413. Atlanta 699, clear and monitoring.
Outstanding. Okay, so there was another station in there that was trying to check in, and you got stepped on. So, station, anybody wishing to check in, please call Net Control now.
Yeah, Net Control. I've been trying to check in for 30 minutes on a HT. This is Atlanta 555, Dave and Marietta.
Acknowledging Atlanta 555, Dave in Marietta. Thank you, Dave, for checking in with us this evening. Let me go ahead and see if we have anybody else out there, and then I'll come right back to you. Net Control standing by for any additional late check-ins. Please call Net Control now.
This is
50 WRS 617, Jeff, Mont Eagle, Tennessee.
This is Atlanta 57 WQZC 882, Andrew in Holly Springs.
Atlanta 167 WRKK 625 in Sugar Hill. Checking in, checking out.
Comment for Net Control when you get a chance.
Okay, Net Control is going to go ahead and acknowledge some of these check-ins. I heard this is from Atlanta 57 Andrew, so I went ahead and started him in the log. But then I also heard Chattanooga 50 checking in. So Andrew actually got in ahead of you there, Jeff. But it doesn't make that much difference either way you look at it. So I have Atlanta 57 Andrew in Holly Springs checking in with us tonight. I have Chattanooga 50 Jeff checking in from Mont Eagle. Fantastic to hear from you tonight, Jeff. And I have Atlanta 167, and I didn't catch the name on that. Let me see. Yeah, I can get to it here. It'll just take me another 2 scrolls, and looks like Neil in Sugar Hill. So Neil, we've got you in the log, and I heard Atlanta 253 has a comment for us. So Donald, if you don't mind, stand by for just a moment, and let me see if we have any other check-ins before we go through this. Net Control standing by.
This is Atlanta 45 WQZE 417 Ian. I will have to be in and out. I apologize. I'm short on time, but I will talk to you all soon.
Okay, Atlanta 45 Ian in Holly Springs. Actually, you're not in Holly Springs anymore, are you? Where are you, Ian?
So technically speaking, I am in unincorporated Cherokee County. The road my driveway attaches to is City of Holly Springs. My house is unincorporated Cherokee County.
Ah, okay. So we're going to go with Cherokee County on that one. And congratulations on the escape from Holly Springs. It's great to hear from you, Ian. Hope that all is well with you. I've got you in the log as in and out, so you can go ahead and break loose. But again, thanks for checking in with us tonight, and hope to hear from you some more as we go. Do we have any other check-ins? Net Control standing by. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ask Donald for his comments. Atlanta 253, Donald, the floor is yours for the moment. So if you want to go ahead and bring your comments, then we'll go through these next 5 check-ins after we hear from Donald. Atlanta 253. So YouTube folks.
I checked in, my internet dropped, so that's what I was going to say, and go ahead and check me out of the net. This is 253 WQNB 274 cleared.
Okay, I understand you wanted to clarify your check-in and your internet dropped. So, Donald, I'm going to go ahead and show you in and out. And thank you for your check-in this evening. And hope that you have a great evening. Hope to talk to you with you again real soon. We'll have to call you and see how things are coming along over that way. Next on my list, I have Atlanta 555, Dave in Marietta. Dave, um, do you have any stories of radio and romance that you'd like to share with the group?
No, I am not going to share that. But you need to love your radio until it hurts, until it mega hurts.
Oh, that is the deepest of love, isn't it? Megahertz. That's fantastic. All right. Yeah, I can appreciate there's probably a lot of stories out there that we don't want to share. So, yeah, spouses listen and get in all kinds of trouble. So we'll just nod our head at that and move right along. But thank you for that, Dave. I'm definitely going to put that. I'll put it somewhere. Yeah, not there. Okay. Thank you again, Dave, for that. Next on my list is Atlanta 57, Andrew in Holly Springs. Andrew, do you have any stories you'd like to share?
Good evening, Justin, and everyone on the net. And just to clarify, Atlanta 45, actually, he is in Holly Springs right now because he's over here with his son, and we're having a little birthday celebration for Benjamin, who is 4 today. So actually, he is in Holly Springs at the moment. So anyway, just wanted to clarify that. Romance in the radio. Oh boy. Got to regulate the time on the radio to keep romance alive. How about that? Does that work?
Oh, yes. And I think that's something that 947 would definitely agree with, is that I spend too much time in here tinkering either with the radio or with the computer or both. And she feels like I need to spend more time doing other things. So I do try to limit my radio time to, obviously on Thursday nights I'm in here all night long, but other nights of the week I make an effort to spend time doing things that she wants to do so that I can have my Thursday nights and my Sunday nights. There's another net that I participate in. So yes, that's a good point, Andrew. Excellent suggestion. Romance with the radio is best limited. So good stuff. That brings me next to Chattanooga 50, Jeff at Mont Eagle. Jeff, it's great to hear from you tonight. Do you have any stories you'd like to share?
Chattanooga 50. No, I don't have any stories that, out there right now that I'd like to share. Just been busy all week down in Huntsville and made a trip to Gigaparts and, picked up a couple of ham radios down there, and that's about all I've done all week, work and play around it, with the radios. But back to net control, and I'll be clear.
A trip to Gigaparts. Well, that's love in and of itself. Everybody loves to go buy radio equipment. May not love the price sometimes, but it's awesome to come home with new gear, even if it's used gear from a ham fest or not very many of those around these days. But there is one on Saturday. I forgot to ask Flip. Flip, if you're listening, I'm going to come right back to you here in a minute so that you can tell us about the tailgate. But love new equipment, and used equipment is good as well. So good stuff, Jeff, and appreciate your comments. And thanks for hanging out with us this evening. Next on my list, I have Atlanta 167, Neil in Sugar Hill. Neil, is this your first check-in with us? Atlanta 167, Neil in Sugar Hill. Are you still with us? Okay, I see you're coming in on Zello, and I'm imagining that you're wrestling with that push-to-talk button that can be so finicky sometimes on Zello. But Neil, it's kind of funny because we have two from Sugar Hill tonight. I don't know that we've ever had a Sugar Hill check-in, so that's interesting. But it's great to hear from you. What brought you to North Georgia GMRS? Zello can be so finicky at times, and as a new user, I may be frustrating him, and that's not what I intend. Okay, Atlanta 167, Neil in Sugar Hill. I understand the frustration that can sometimes be with Zello, and I don't want to frustrate you. So just know that you're welcome here, and we're glad to hear from you. And if you have any questions about equipment or participation or anything at all, feel free to take a look at our Facebook page for North Georgia GMRS and post your questions there. And if you need help getting a radio set up, I happen to know that a radio will make contact from Sugar Hill because you have neighbors that made contact from Sugar Hill tonight. So we should be able to get you in here on RF. But welcome to the group nonetheless. Glad to have you in here, and looking forward to catching up with you again real soon. Next on my list is Atlanta 45 Ian in Cherokee County / Holly Springs, celebrating Benjamin's 4th birthday. Congratulations, Ian, on that. I know that we were all kind of anticipating other results, so this is indeed a worthy celebration, and your good friend Andrew is great to host a celebration for that event for you. Great talking with you, and with that, this is, I think, a good place to break and close the net. But before we do, let's go ahead and see if we have one last check-in for the North Georgia GMRS net. Anybody with a question or a comment, the floor is open. Net control is standing by.
This is Atlanta 420, WRFS 771. Just checking in and checking out, and was listening and monitoring mobile.
Okay, that is Atlanta 420, William in Roswell, checking in and out with us tonight. Thank you, William, for that check-in. That comment that you made with the mobile home was hilarious. I just concerned that it might confuse people, but maybe not. Maybe that's just me. In any case, I got a good laugh out of that. At this point, one quick pause for late check-ins, and we'll wrap this thing out. Any questions, comments, late check-ins, net control standing by. So,
this is 420. I'll just have to add in that I guess just about any house is mobile. It just depends on the money that they want to spend on it. So I guess that's what makes it legal with the FCC. 7:30, everyone. Have a great night.
Yeah, well, okay. So, all right then. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. We've got, looks like tonight we have a total of 38 check-ins, including myself. This will conclude the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. Net control will now be returning the repeaters back to normal use. Everyone who signed in should sign out. Thank you for allowing me to serve as your net control this evening. Good evening, everyone. This is Atlanta 946, WQIR 514. Justin, and I'm clear. So the log on YouTube has some limitations, and that is that I can only show about 35 entries. So unfortunately, let me see if I can move this. I don't think I can. Ooh, look at that. How did that? Ah, yeah, there you go. So there is your opportunity to see the last entries in the log. So That's interesting. I didn't know I could do that, so I'll have to bear that in mind. It might be challenging to do during the net because of the nature of where computers are located and whatnot. If I had another operator in here, that would be a piece of cake. But in any case, that's the end of our program tonight. So thank you all for hanging out with us. I'm going to move my chair back over here so I can hit this button and say thanks. This is Atlanta 946, WQIR 514. My name is Justin, and thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening. Looking forward to catching up with all of you again real soon. Good evening, everyone.